This is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make Blossom. We are going to use an extended loom, so it's two looms put together. Columns 1 and 2 and 5 and 6 are going to be the same height, whereas 3 and 4 are going to be slightly higher. You're going to use your big base plates to hold the 3 columns each, and then your smaller base plates you're going to sort of tier so that you're capturing different ones, as you can see, like this. Okay, now as we make her, we are going to be having the arrows facing towards us. The open part of the pegs are facing towards us. We are going to be double banding, and we're also going to be using some googly eyes. Now the googly eyes that I have are not adhesive and they're not sew on, so we are going to have to make these so that we can fit a band through them. To do that, if you're a child, I would suggest you get an adult to help you, because this can be quite dangerous. You're going to use a sharp knife or a sharp pair of scissors, and you're going to scour 2 lines next to each other. I'll do it and then I'll show you what I've done. You're going to scour 2 lines, and this is thanks to my friend Kay for thinking of this. It's a very good idea. I don't think I scoured that one. Oh yes, I did. Like that. So you've just made this little lip here, and what we're going to do is, using a metal threader or using floss or whatever you happen to be using, you're going to grab your skin tone band and we're going to thread this through this little area here. Take your hook out, and that just gets threaded through like that, and that is then going to be able to be placed on our pegs. So do the same for the other eye. Please be careful. I do not want to hear that anybody has chopped their fingers off. Pop your hook through to, there we go, to make it sit up a bit so that you can use your threader. Slide your threader through with your band attached. Remove your hook, and there we have our band successfully threaded onto our googly eye. Okay, let's get started. As I said, we're double banding. I'm using caramel for her hair, and I'm going to start by placing caramel up here. This is the extended loom version. I will be recording how to do this on a single loom. It is much more fiddly, so I figured that I would let the people that have 2 looms get started with these little girlies first, and then we'll spend more time doing the single loom version. So we're going to start by doing her hair like this. Now we're going to do 5 braids. Now these I don't even think are long enough. I think they need to be quite long, and these are, let's count, we've got an end cap, then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 in that chain. So you can either, and I did them with a single band, use a single band and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's only going to give you 10, which I don't really think is enough. That's 10. But what we'll do is we'll put an end cap on here, and we'll use this anyway, because if this is the way you want to do it, that's fine. So put your single band end cap here, dig your hook down, and we loop up just as if you were doing a normal chain. And this is 10 single bands all chained together. And we'll take that off the loom. I think it needs to be longer. So if you're doing it, if you're going to make it longer, I would put a band on the end, slide it on. That's 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. I would do it 15 because once you've put it on the top of her head, that will come down past her legs. So you really want a chain of 15, and you want 5 of them. If you're going to do it on the hook completely by themselves, take a single band, wrap it once and twice, slide onto a single band, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now I'm going to just keep these on a holding hook until I have 5 of them. I've got 2. I need to do another 3. Race ya. Single band, wrap it once and twice. Here's number 1. And we'll do one more. 13, 14 and 15, and we'll pop that on there. I'm going to take a red band, figure 8, loop it on itself, and I'm going to just slide these on like this. I'm going to reclaim the end of that band, and I'm going to pop one side here and one side here. I'm going to turn this around. So one side. I hate not having thumbnails. There we go, one side there and one side there, like that. Okay, let's move this back, and we will do a red bow there. Now the red bow, we're just literally going to use an end cap on 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do an end cap, single band, wrap it once and twice, and pop that there, and another one for the other side, and pop that there. Dig down past that end cap and we'll loop up like that. Dig down past the end cap, and loop up. I'm going to take these off and place them on top there. I'm going to take a single band, figure 8, pop my hook through here, grab that figure 8, and as I bring it back up, I'm going to take this off, the two closest to me up and off, and I will just hold it like that for the time being until I'm ready to place it around there. Okay, so that's just going to sit off to the side up here. Let's do her face. I'm using a silicone band for this, as I haven't sorted through my Rainbow Loom ones. Every time you get a packet of Rainbow Loom skin tone, you have to sort through them, which I find absolutely boring. So I have skin tone bands, but they are all in a muddle, as I've not sorted them. I have to admit I much prefer to spend a little extra money and not have to sort. Silicone are harder to work with, they don't stretch as much, but I do think they have a nicer result. So from here, let's do 2 from there to there, 2 from there to there, now here we're not going to put 2, we're going to take a single band, loop it on itself, and we are going to stretch it across like that. Okay, it's going to be really tricky also to do our crossover bands because silicone just doesn't want to stretch that far. What I'm actually going to do, instead of using these silicone bands and trying to get them to stretch over, which they're just not going to do, I'm going to use clear bands as my crossover bands. So I'm going to take a clear band and stretch it across the length of these 6 pegs. Now obviously that's only in 3 spots. These spots here you would just use your normal band, but you loop them on themselves. So you take a figure 8, loop it on itself, and you would pop it across the 2 pegs. Let's put the hook down, it might make it a little bit easier. Like that. Do another one here, and another one here. And I'm going to do a last one here. So if you don't have the right colour to be able to stretch that far, I would always try and use a clear band. For our eyes, we can place these now. We're going to pop one side here and one side here. I'm sorry, I'm being very pathetic here. I have a cut on my thumb and it's sore. So we'll pop the eye there and we'll pop the other eye on the other side. It's funny, you don't realise how much you use your hands to do things until you start looming, and then things hurt. Alright, I'm using pink bands and I'm double banding still, and they are going to go here for her dress, and then she has a line of black, and then she has another line of pink for her dress. I'm trying to pick bands that aren't too stretched out of shape. Different brands of bands stretch differently, and I've noticed it can be quite a huge variance. I'm using 2 pair of white for her socks, and then I'm going to take 2 black bands, wrap it around my hook once and twice, and I'm going to slide that onto the end of her little white sock here like that. And I'm going to do the same on the other side, wrap it once and twice and slide over like that. Now we need to do crossover bands for these, so again I'm using pink, figure 8, loop it on itself, do one there, one there, and one there. And we need to do arms. Take a single band, wrap it once and twice, and you're going to slide onto a pair of skin tone, and then another pair of skin tone, and that will just get popped here between her face and her body, if you can get your hook out. Like that. Let's do the same again for the other side. A single band, wrap it once and twice, slide onto 2 bands, and slide onto another 2 bands, like so, and these get popped on this side. Now let's loop this up. Dig down, find your 2 white bands and loop up and loop up. Loop the pink up. This silicone are a much thicker band as well, so try and push things down so that you have room here. Now we're going to dig down and find the 2 top bands, and they will be silicone bands, and they will be tricky to find with so many bands here. Oh no, we have a broken band. Let's take that out and replace it. And that one has to come all the way down, so I'm going to firstly find these two bands that need to loop across. I'm going to loop them across. Now this one I've placed on the top, but I need to go down and I need to find it and its buddy. So let's dig one down and push that one up like that and place that one there. So there we go. Find the top two bands. I'm sorry, it is tricky, as I said, when you've got silicone bands. Find the two top bands and loop up and loop up. Push the crossovers back with the back of your hook so that you're exposing the two bands that you want to loop up. We're looping up the eyes. You need to get the eye out of the way. There we go. Now, the fun part with the eye is you need to dig down and find the band, open it up, splay it so that the eye goes over the top of it. Okay? Find the band, which should be the top one, open it up, splay it around that one. To lock it into place, move the eye out the way, dig down, find those two bands, and once you've locked that into place by looping it above, it will not go anywhere. You hope. Yay, that was the last of the silicone bands. Back to our normal rubber bands. So much easier to work with. Gives me carpal tunnel working with the other ones. Alright, let's dig down here, grab the two bottom ones and loop up. Same this side, grab the two bottom ones and loop up. I'm going to grab the two bottom ones from here and the two bottom ones from here. Now they are the same band, okay? I'm going to put my hook on like that. Now, what I'm going to do is splay, so I have one side here, okay? I'm going to splay this out and I'm going to pop all of these chains through it like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. So I'm going to splay this side out like that, grab all the chains for her hair, and again I'm going to pull it all the way through. If I can get my finger there, come here. There we go. I had no thumbnail to do that. Oh, I've got one and not the other. That was silly. Let's dig that through. Here we go. There. So it's looped in, secured like that. Okay. Now this bit I'm just going to add to the end of it when I take it off the loom. So let's take it off the loom. I'm going to be very gentle with the end of my hook here because I do not want any broken bands. It's tricky under the eyes here. Phew! Take her off the loom. Stretch her out a bit. Pull her arms out a little bit. Now you can adjust her eyes, move them a bit to where you want them to be. As I said, with this bit, what I'm going to do, I splay that bit out. And that's going to go at the front of her head. I'm going to move her hair through it like that, and it is just going to sit at the front. Now if you want to do it tighter, which this one obviously does need to be tighter, twist it one more time. Oops. And move her hair through, and I don't want the band to be through there. It's going to sit like that. Now I said I didn't want it, but actually it wouldn't be such a bad idea because it would push it to the back. So I'm going to take the two loops here, there we go. I'm going to push the ribbon in front of it. Like so. Not quite sure why that one's going skew-if, but never mind. Now we can do her mouth. To do her mouth, I'm going to use 2 black bands, chop them at one side, pierce her face with my hook, and grab one of those black bands, split it in the middle like that, so it's sort of like I've got the 2 ends and I've got this little loop, and drag one side through and let go of the other so that it's like that. Then dig down through her face and pull that side down with me. I'm going to turn her over. I'm going to tie this in a knot at the back of her head. like so. Trim these off so that they don't encroach to the front of our figure. So that's half a mouth. Goodness me, this really is being a silly one, isn't it? And then the other half, you're going to do the same spot, so find a corresponding spot, and I say it'll be about here. You're going to take half of that black band through, like that, and you're going to go the other side exactly the same spot that you came out for the first one, like that. And let's tie these two in a knot. Like that. And again, trim so that you don't have it encroaching on the front. Now all you need to do is drag the black band so that they line up. And there we have Blossom. I hope you enjoyed making her.